to talk about an important application of GIS, Cadastre. In the following 35 minutes, we will bring you basic knowledge about Cadastre and tell you what kind of online cadastral system you can build by using SuperGIS Server. In the end of this webinar, we will have a 10 minutes Q&A time, and our speaker is very pleased to answer your questions. My name is Eugene, the marketing specialist of SuperGIS Technologies, and I will be the host today. And here, sitting next to me, is the speaker of today, George.
Hi everyone, I'm George, and I'm the Senior Product Manager. I'm responsible for the SuperGIS Server products. Nice to meet you here today.
George is our Senior Product Manager. He has a master's degree in geography, and he is a SuperGIS expert and has many experiences of applying GIS to accomplish different tasks. Before we start to discuss today's topic, let's warm up with a quick poll, and we will be back in 2 minutes. Our first question of today is, have you ever tried SuperGIS software and apps? Okay, it seems like most of our audience today have tried SuperGIS products. That's good. I think people who have tried our products before will learn more efficiently from today's webinar. But if you never tried our products before, don't worry, we will upload this webinar recording in 2 to 3 days. So you can watch it again in the slower speed and learn more. And here I would like to share the product's roadmap of SuperGIS with you. SuperGIS Complete Solution includes Server GIS, Desktop GIS to Mobile GIS. So users can collect field data by our Mobile GIS and then edit and conduct special analysis with SuperGIS Desktop. Finally, publish and share results in 2D or 3D view in the internet by our GIS server. Furthermore, we even have developer GIS to help programmer and software developer to customize their unique applications. And today we are going to focus mainly on SuperGIS Server. It is a powerful GIS platform that can help you to create, manage, and share GIS services with others over the internet. If you are interested in our other products and solutions, you can find our previous webinar recording on the YouTube channel, SuperGIS TV, or simply visit our website to download free trials and learn more. So here I would like to bring you more detailed introduction about SuperGIS Server. It is an ideal GIS platform that can help you to integrate and share GIS data efficiently over the web, and it can help you to centrally manage massive spatial data with diverse geodatabases such as Oracle Spatial, Microsoft SQL, and PostgreSQL. Furthermore, SuperGIS Server supports various mapping APIs, so you can build your web application with fascinating visual effects. And by using our mobile GIS to connect the GIS services delivered by SuperGIS Server, users can edit GIS data directly in the field. Okay, during this webinar, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to share it with us. Just send messages to us with GoToWebinar comment box or send an email to staff@supergeotech.com. Okay, now it's time to give the stage to George and start today's discussion.
Okay, I'm George, and today's topic is one click to access cadastral data. So I'll begin with a short introduction about what is cadastral data and some of its real-world applications in different countries. And then I will use our products to bring you a demo about how to build your own online coding system, online editing platform, and also how to use mobile devices to access the web application published by our products. And in the end, I will give you a short summary about what we have talked today and also some of the future developments of cadastral data. So let's first begin with what is cadastral. And according to Wikipedia, Cadastre is a real estate registry, and it commonly includes attributes like the ownership, tenure, precise locations, dimensions, area, and values, and so on. So here's an example map of the cadastral data. You can see they are basically composed of a lot of land parcels here, and you can imagine that it must be a very huge job to collect and maintain all these land parcels by human resources.
George, it seems like creating cadastral data is a very complex and difficult job and needs so many hard words. But why should we do this? I mean, what's the importance of cadastre? And can you tell me more about it?
Okay, so of course the cadastral data are very important for almost every country. Let's first talk about the purpose of the cadastral data. It is used to define the dimensions and location of land parcels that described in legal documentation. And because it is a legal documentation, so whenever there is a dispute or lawsuits between different landowners, well, the city manager will have this kind of cadastral data as a source data to determine whom the land should belong to. So this is useful in this case. And for GIS, the cadastral data is a base element to access and manage the lands and to build infrastructures for the city. So if the city manager or the land authority, they want to develop their city, this is a very good reference for them to see how the city land is being used and how the price or the value of
the value,
land value are being distributed across the city. So they can decide where should they put their focus on to develop their city. Yeah, and based on these various reasons, where you can see the importance of the cadastral data. Okay, so now I'm going to show some of the real-world applications of the cadastral data, and the first one is about online querying system that is published by the Taiwanese government for my country. Okay, so here you can see the interface of this web platform, and people in Taiwan, they can freely access to this platform to query for some cadastral data. And I can show you a live demo here. Okay, so you can see here we have an interface. Well, the interface is in Chinese because it is designed for Taiwanese citizens to use. But I will be explaining what I'm doing along the demo, so you don't worry about the interface. So now the first thing I want to do is to query for the cadastral data. So I can type in the city name and also the name of the town, for example, and also the row sections, and then a cadastral number that's beginning with number 1, and I hit query, then the system will respond me with the corresponding cadastral data and some of its attributions like the address and the number of the cadastral data, yeah, things like that.
George, is it possible to know more detailed information about this land parcel, such as the information of landowners or the land value of this parcel?
Oh, well, because this website is accessible to almost everyone in Taiwan and it's free, so, well, I know people will be curious about those more detailed information like the landowners, but they are kind of personal information. It is not a good idea to put those information on this public accessible website because it involves some of the privacy issue. So, but if you are really interested in those information, there are actually a paid version that you can switch to. So if you go for the paid version, then you can get more detailed information, including those landowner information, land value information that you just mentioned. Yeah. So yes, we have free version and also a paid version for the Taiwanese citizens, and depends on your need. You can select either system for you. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a cadastral application in Taiwan, and now let's go for the second example. It's about online editing editing cadastral data, and it's from our partner in the Philippines. And what they do is that they have a group of 10 to 20 person working on a project. And what they do is that they have to digitalize the land parcels in their city. So each of the person in the team, they are responsible for different section of the city, and they have to digitalize by using SuperGIS desktop. And once they are done their section, their area, they have to integrate all the resources from different team members into one complete cadastral data set.
Okay, you have just mentioned that there are like 20 people in this group, and they want to integrate their features, yes, into one layers. I think it is highly possible to make mistake during this process.
Well, yes, it is likely to have some mistakes, but I think that, for them, the mistakes are controllable because they are only like 20 persons in this team. So this workflow still works for them, but now they are like facing the same situation when they have a new project, a new governmental project that needs 300 persons to maintain the cadastral data sets of their own country. So in this case, there are 300 people. It becomes impossible for them to integrate the resource from so many people. Yeah, it will be a very big problem for them. So what we propose to them is that they can publish the cadastral data set to the server by using our SuperGIS server, and then all the people can access to the website, just like the one we just showed you from the Taiwanese case, and then they get access to it and edit the cadastral data online. So they don't need to worry about how to integrate all the resources together once they are done, because whenever they finish a feature editing, then the data is automatically synchronized to the server, and they don't need to worry about how to integrate them anymore. So, well, and for them, we have done a performance test for them, and the scenario is that we have 300 users just like them, and 300 users are editing the same layer in the same service within 3 minutes. And in this scenario, our SuperGIS server received a total of 609 requests, and all the requests are being responded by the SuperGIS server with less than 5 seconds. And this resource indicates that if a user finishes an editing job and the resource, the updated records can be synchronized to the server with less than 5 seconds.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that is very highly acceptable result for all the users in this scenario. Yes. So that is our case, one of the case from the Philippines, and also we have another example from our Turkish partner is that they have to do field validations with mobile devices. And and the GDOLC, which is their land authority, they regularly have to send people, field workers, to the lands and to the fields and register new building lands and apply modifications on ground. And what they do is here's a workflow showing their workflow. The GDORC, they publish the cadastral data online as web applications and also as GIS services like WNS and WFS. And the workers, the field workers, they go onto the website and they download the data to their office, and then they extract the file to their GNSS RTK devices to do the stakeout land corners job, and then in the field. And once they are done this job in the field, they have to go back to the office and synchronize their resource to the GDORC again. Okay. And there's a problem here, because whenever they are done with the scale job, and they back to the office, they might realize that the data that used may be outdated, because the GDORC they frequently update the land parcels data. So before they go back to the office, then those records may have already been updated. Okay. Yeah. So they will have to do the same thing again to the field and go back to the office again, and until they make sure that they are using the latest records.
That's quite tiring.
Yeah, it's tiring and also it's a waste of time.
Yes.
Yeah, so what they do is now is that they have improved workflow like this, that they bring Windows pads and they install our mobile apps, the SuperPad, on their devices, and our SuperPad can work perfectly with high-target GNSS RTK, the V60 machine.
Okay.
Yes, and in this way they can use the maps in the fields, and also they can get very high accuracy data from the high-target V60 machine. Yeah, so in this workflow, the field workers, they go to the field and they have internet connection, so they can connect to the GDRC's GIS services,
yes.
in real time. So they can make sure they are actually using the latest records from the GDRC, and they can still have very high accuracy data because our products can work perfectly with high-target V60 machine.
Okay, George, I have another question here. According to what you have just said, we must install mobile GIS software like SuperPad on the devices, and then to communicate GIS data, right?
Yeah.
What if I don't want to use SuperPad? Is there any other solution?
Well, in this case, they are using SuperPad just because they need very high accuracy data.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have the needs for this kind of high accuracy data, then you can just use the web applications published by our server. And we, in SuperGIS Server 3.3, we have a new design for the mobile layouts. So if you are using mobile devices like Android or iOS, then you can use the web browsers to access the application published by the SuperGIS server. And then we have a mobile layout for users to easily control the web application. Like they can use to edit the data, the attributions, and they can query for the cadastral data by using the apps. Yes. So it's not necessary for you to have a mobile app like SuperPad or SuperServe. Yeah, you can just use SuperGIS server. Yeah, and everything's okay for you. And in the end, what they get is an all-in-one solution that you can work perfectly in the field, and also they can directly check the latest records from the GDRC, and they can also view and compare the old and new lands and the maps in the field. Right? Yeah, so that is a perfect solution for them. They are very happy with these solutions. Okay, so this is my first section for today's webinar. And I'll turn back to Eugene.
Okay, thank you, George. Okay, let's move to the second question of today and take a 2 minutes short break. Our second question of today is, why do you attend this webinar? Okay, it seems like most of our audience today simply wants to learn more GIS applications. That's good, because in the following section, we will tell you how to apply our GIS server with a real scenario.
Okay, so before the demo begins, I will first give a short recap about what we have talked about in the last section. In last section, I have bring you three different real-world cases done by Taiwanese different countries, and the first one is online querying by the Taiwanese government, the people that can access to and query for the cadastral records. And the second one is from our partners from the Philippines. They have a project that needs 300 people to edit the online cadastral data. So, and the last one is from our Turkish partner. They have to use mobile devices to do the field validation. So in this demo, I will show three corresponding solutions for online querying and editing and field validation by using our SuperGIS server. Okay, so let's look at the web applications now. Okay, so when speaking of the cadastral data, most of people will be curious about because cadastral data are always so huge. Like
So
this
massive,
one, yeah. So like this one, we have about 1.3 million records of Houston cadastral data.
Houston
And
in Texas?
yes, so there are so many records here, and people will be worried about the performance of the server.
Yes.
So here I can show you how the performance is by using our products. So you can see that this solution, this performance is quite very good for most of the user. And you can also identify the features by clicking on them, and you can get more detailed information from from the server. So now you can see the overall performance of our solution. And then now I'm going to show you more detail about our products. So here we have provided some of the default tools, including layers and bookmarks, and also query tool, edit tool, geoprocess tool, print tool, and also measure tool. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is how to use our app to query for some records. Okay, so now for example, I'm going to find the land parcel data that are near by the lake stirring gate. I want to find the records that are nearby here. I can append this expression, but also I want to know the block number that equals to 9. So I can have multiple expressions at the same time and query for them. So this is the expression I have. I'm looking for the records that nearby the lake steering gate and also have a block number equals to 9. And I hit query here, and I can see that I get a total of 44 records from here, and I can see more information by showing the attributes here. Okay, so here are all the corresponding records to my conditions. Okay. So, in addition to this way of querying data, you can also just click on the map. You can get more information. Just I like show you.
Yes, by clicking.
Yeah, by clicking. This is called identifying features in GIS. So you can click on the map and identify a feature for its attributions. Yeah, and once you're done for example, now if you want to know more about the land parcels, you can use our measurement tool to measure for example, the area. So yeah, so for example, I'm going to measure the area of this parcel. I can click on the map directly and get the results. So you can see it's approximately like 5,000 square meters here. Yeah, so you can directly measure the land parcels on the map. And if you want to print out this map, we also have a print tool for you to print out the map. So for example, the title will be Cadastre data, for example. And I'm going to use a landscape layout and print out the map. And you can see we can have the map here. You can use the browser print tool to print out this paper map. Yeah. So yeah, I know a lot of people when they are using cadastral data, they have the need to print out a paper version of the cadastral data.
Yes.
So I believe that this will be a very convenient tool for all the cadastral data users. Yeah. So this is how we can use our products to query for some records that you're interested in. We have a query tool, and you can also directly identify features on the map. And after the identifying process, and you can measure for some more detail like the area, the length, and also you can print out the map if you like. Yeah, so that's what you can do with our applications. And also, the second demo previously is editing the cadastral data online.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I'm going to show you how to use our default tools to edit the features on the web application. So as you can see here now, the three features here there may be some mistakes here because you can see they don't align with others. So
yes.
I'm going to use these three features as an example to see how to edit edit features. Yes. So we turn on the edit feature, edit tool, and then we can directly click on the feature that we are about to edit, and then we can move them to the position that we like and click save, or we can resize them or just reshape them by moving their vertices. Yeah, and click save. And we can also, in addition to editing the geometries, we can also edit
The attributes.
yeah,
yes.
the attributes. I know that there are a lot of people that want to edit the attributes of the data, and they can do this at the same time. They can edit the features, edit the geometry, and the attributes at the same time. And
Okay.
yeah, so it's very convenient for people.
Yes.
So now I'm going to change the landowner to me. Yeah, so that I can climb this.
You'll become so rich.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we can do with our edit tool. And sometimes if we are not happy about the edit result, we can just redo and to roll back to previous days.
Okay.
Yeah, you can redo to or undo to manage our editing results.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a new feature in SuperGIS 3.3. I know a lot of people when they are using the web application, they may have some mistakes when they are asking the feature. So it is important for them to have to roll back to previous editing states. Yeah. So okay, so this is a very powerful tool in SuperGIS Server 3.3. And the last demo is about how to use mobile devices to do field validations. Okay, so now I'm going to use Chrome to switch to a mobile layout. I'm selecting the iPhone 6 Plus. So I have to refresh again.
Oh, it becomes a mobile layout.
Yeah, this is one way to simulate how the web application will be like on the mobile devices. Yeah, so you can see the layout are different now. The default tools have been already in this.
The menu becomes so small.
Integrated into this interface, and all the icons are larger so that when you are using the mobile devices, it is easier for you to control. And you can do most of the things that we have done in previous two demos. For example, if we want to identify features or query for features, you can use the find tools, and also then you can find the address that nearby the Lake Sterling Gate and append this expression and hit query. Then this time we have 50 records. Yes, because we have different expressions now. Yeah, and then you can also identify these features on the map directly, and you can see its detailed information below your devices, including the owner name, the address, the block number, and so on. Yes, and also you can easily switch different records that match your condition, or you can back to the list, refresh again, go back to the map, and you can directly click on the map to identify features. Yeah, that's what you can do. Also what you can do on the PC layout. So basically, if you are using mobile devices, when you are, for example, you want to do field validations, then you can bring your mobile devices to the field and access to this website, and then you can click on features to see that if the land is correctly corresponding to the descriptions here. Yeah. So you can also add the features if you find there are some mistakes in your data sets compared to the real world. So to add the features, you still click on the editing tool here and click on the map. and you can edit its attributions, or you can edit the features, geometries here. But I believe that it will be not so easy as the PC layout, because you are using your fingers to do the control.
You have to tap the device with your finger.
Yeah,
so difficult.
So it's difficult to get some detailed control of your geometries.
Yes.
So I guess it is not so suggested to use your mobile devices to edit features. Yeah, but you can definitely use it. You use your mobile devices to edit the attributes here.
Yes.
Yeah, so it will be a very great help for you to do the field validations by using our web applications.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the 3 demos today. Let's go back to our presentations. So I'm now going to give some short summaries. So the benefit of using our product SuperGIS Server is that you can have your cadastral maps anywhere, because you can use in your office, you can use your mobile devices in the fields. So anywhere, if you have internet connection, then you can see your maps. You don't have to have a local copies on every devices. You just have one control, one centrally managed system on your server, so you can easily manage your data and share the data to different users by using mobile devices or web applications. Yeah, and also you can have a real-time update from various users or multiple users. Just like we said from previous section, we have a scenario
test.
Yeah,
yes.
that 300 users are editing the same layer at the same time, and our server can respond all the requests in less than 5 seconds. Yeah, so this is a huge benefit from our SuperGIS server. Yeah. And last, I want to talk about some future trends of cadastral data. So there's a trend now. This is actually an ongoing trend in Taiwan. We have a lot of feedbacks from our users, and they are asking about if we can show the cadastral data in 3D, because now people like to see 3D data. And for example, they can see the attributes of this building at the 3rd floor, at the 5th floor. Yeah, because on the different floor, they will have different attributes, like, right? So
yes.
yeah, so if you are using 2D system, it is difficult for you to select different floor. But if you are using 3D, it's become more easy for users to see that I am now actually identifying the feature, the attributes at the 2nd floor now. Yeah, so using 3D, our SuperGIS 3D as server, you can have a smart city like this. You can have your digital terrain surface, terrain models, and showing in 3D, and you can have your satellite images overlaid on the 3D image, 3D models, and also you can have your 3D buildings to display to become a smart city platform for the city managers. Yeah, so I guess the future development of cadastral data will go from 2D to 3D. Yeah, so that's how our products can match the needs of the
future
users.
trends.
Yeah,
yes.
future trends. Yes. So that would be today's webinar, and now we'll have one last poll, and let's turn back to Eugene.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing us knowledge about Cadastre and the new features of SuperGIS Server. Thank you, George. And we are going to have our last poll of today. After that, we'll have a 10 minutes QA time. So please leave your questions or any comments in the question box of GoToWebinar after you choosing your answer. And our last question of today is, what do you do for a living? And we will be back in 3 minutes. Okay, it seems like most of our audience today have a job not very close to today's topic. That's interesting. Maybe you could leave some messages about your occupation, and also tell us what would you like to hear in the next SuperGIS webinar. We will try our best to organize and suggest a solution that can help your job. Okay, let's move on to the final part of today's webinar, the QA time. I've already seen several questions here, and the first question of today is, how can SuperGIS products help us to connect the cadastral maps sent in WFS or WNS formats? Could you answer that question, George?
Okay. I know that there are a lot of existing cadastral data that have been published as in WFS or WNTS, WNS, like that. So if you are using SuperGIS Server, you can integrate those WNS or WNTS into the platform, into our web application, so that you can see those services in our platform in no time. So, but if you want to have more control about the data, like you are using WFS, then you can use SuperPad, for example, to access the WFS layer. Then in SuperPad, you will be able to have to access the feature vertexes. As far as I know, people would like to use those vertexes to do the stakeout job, and also sometimes they will need those vertexes as waypoint to navigate to those positions.
Yes, to those parcels. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're now if you're using a mobile app like SuperPad, you will have a better control of the WFS layer, and you can do more things with that. So whether you are using SuperGIS Server, SuperPad, or our SuperGIS Desktop, SuperServe, we can all access the OGC services. So you don't have to worry about if your clients are using those OGC formats, then how you will be respond to them. Yeah, so you can definitely use our products. Yes.
Okay, thanks for your response. And the second question of today is a question from Philip, and he wants to know when will the 3D cadastre capability will be available on SuperGIS products.
Okay, so as I show you that the SuperGIS 3D Earth server is actually being released, and we are using the product to build some 3D smart cities for our Taiwanese projects. Yeah, so we already have this product, and we are actually using it to do Taiwanese projects in Taiwan. Yeah.
Okay. The next question, an audience wants to know the data limit of the SuperGIS server. Is there any limitation for SuperGIS server 3.3?
Okay.
Data limitation.
Yeah, data limitation. Well, I know that, for example, when using cadastral data, the data size are very huge, and sometimes most of the time the data are being stored in databases, and we don't have any limitations on the data size, and also how many users are using the database. So you don't need to worry about if you have a very large quantity of data, or you have many people that will need to use the database at the same time. We all support, so you don't need to worry about that.
Okay. Thanks for your answer, George. I'm sorry, because of the time limit, we have to say goodbye to you now. It's already like 15 minutes.
Yeah, but I think we can still have one more question here, because we still have one more here.
Okay.
Yeah, that is, do we need to install software on our mobile or computer for this? Well, as I mentioned in before, that if you are using SuperGIS server, and you can host web applications on your server, so your clients didn't need to use mobile apps or computer APs
to receive the services delivered by
all you need
server.
is web browsers, and you can access to the service published by your SuperGIS server.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is for today's QA.
Okay. So I'm sorry, we'll have to say goodbye to you now. And if you have still have any questions, you can send us message by our mailbox of staff@supergeotech.com. SuperGIS webinar is scheduled in mid-August, and the topic will be focused on how SuperGIS mobile series can help you to measure landscapes with high accuracy. With RTK and N-trip solution, SuperGIS can reach sub-meter accuracy with ease, and we will also invite a guest speaker to join us in this webinar. I'm sure this will bring some inspirations and new ideas to you. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or subscribe the newsletter to get the latest information of SuperGeo. We are looking forward to hearing you in the next webinar. Bye-bye.
Okay, see you. Goodbye.